Okay, so we can start with our prayers. Oops. और बड़ा कर ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम। साथ में बोल देते। श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम आलयं करुणालयं
Shruti.
नमामि। हाँ,
ये
We
इकट्ठा
will
ही बोले।
नहीं we will repeat because last time it was बहुत गड़बड़ था. So we will repeat.
ओके। श्रुति
Yes.
स्मृति पुराणानाम आलयं करुणालयं नमामि
Shruti.
भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरम्। ओके।
Shruti Smriti
स्मृति
Purananam
पुराणानाम् आलयं
Alayam
करुणालयं
Karunalayam Namami
नमामि
Bhagavad
भगवत्पादं
Pada Shankaram
शङ्करं
Lokashankaram.
लोकशङ्करम्।
शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः।
Shankaram Shankaracharyam
शङ्कराचार्यं
Keshavam
केशवं बादरायणं
Badarayanam Sutra
सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ
Bhashikritau
वन्दे
Vande Bhagavantau
भगवन्तौ
Punah
पुनः पुनः।
Punah.
हाँ। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
Sadashiv
सदाशिवसमारम्भां
Samarambham Shankaracharya
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
Madhyamam Asmadacharya
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां
Paryantam
वन्दे
Vande
गुरुपरम्पराम्।
Paramparam.
या सदा शिव। ओके, नॉट शिव। ओके। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
ईश्वरो
गुरुरात्मेति
गुरुरात्मेति
मूर्ति भेद
मुक्तिभेदविभागिने
विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्त देहाय
व्योमवद्देहाय
दक्षिणामूर्तये
दक्षिणामूर्तये
नमः.
नमः।
ओम श्री दयानंदेश्वराय नमः।
ओम श्री
दयानंदेश्वराय
दयानंदेश्वराय नमः.
हे भगवान, मेरा स्क्रीन एक मिनट। ओके, लेट्स डू दिस प्रेयर्स। श्री हरिम परमानंदम
श्री हरिम परमानंदम
उपदेष्टारमीश्वरम्
उपदेष्टारमीश्वरम्
व्यापकं सर्वलोकानां
व्यापकं
व्यापकं
सर्वलोकानां
सर्वलोकानां
कारणं तं नमाम्यहम्।
कारणं
कारणं
तं
नमाम्यहम्।
नमाम्यहम्.
अभी मैं फोर्थ वर्स पे जा रही हूँ। ब्रह्मादि स्थावरांतेषु
ब्रह्मादि स्थावरान्तेषु
ब्रह्मादिपार्वणेषु
वैराग्यं विषयेष्वनु
वैराग्यं
वैराग्यं
विश्वेष्वनु
विष्णेषु
यथैव काकविष्टायां
यथैव
यथैव
काकविष्ठायां
काकविष्ठायां
वैराग्यं तद्धि निर्मलम्।
वैराग्यं
वैराग्यं
तद्धि
तद्धि
निर्मलम्.
निर्मलम्।
नित्यमात्मस्वरूपं हि
नित्यात्मस्वरूपं
नित्यात्मस्वरूपं
हि
हि
दृश्यं तद्विपरीतगम्।
दृश्यं
दृश्यं
तद्विपरीतम्।
तद्विपरीतगम्.
एवं यो निश्चयः सम्यग्
एवं
एवं
यो
यो निश्चय
निश्चयः
सम्यक्
सम्यक्
विवेको वस्तु न स वै
विवेको
विवेको वस्तु न
वस्तु न स
वै.
वै
सदैव वासनात्यागः
सदैव
सदैव
वासना त्यागः
वासनात्यागः
शमोऽयमिति शब्दितः
शमोऽयमिति शब्दितः.
निग्रहो बाह्यवृत्तीनां
निग्रहो
निग्रहो
बाह्यवृत्तीनां
बाह्यवृत्तीनां
सम इत्यभिधीयते।
दम
दम
इत्यभिधीयते.
इत्यभिधीयते।
विषयेभ्यः परावृत्तिः
विषयेभ्यः
param paramo paratirhisa
परमो
परमोपरतिर्हि
परतिर्हिसा
sahanam sarva dukkhanam
सहनं सर्वदुःखानां
titiksha sa shubhamata.
ततीक्षा
ततीक्षा सा शुभामता.
Yeah. Okay, इसको भी बंद करते हैं. Okay, now I wanted to, because we are on the topic of shama, I found some notes of long ago of mine. Okay, so I thought let us just look at it because we are on the topic of shama. So let me just shift the thing up and let me share the screen with you. And I was looking at learning not to react to unpleasant facts that we have to face in life. Okay. So this was a thought I thought very relevant to our topic of shama. So I was going to ask maybe Anita to read.
Yes. Learning not to react to unpleasant facts to face. Have a value for samatvam.
Hmm.
Understanding of Ishvara's order, acceptance of the order can give samatvam.
Yeah. So that is the basic thing that we go with this value for samatva. Okay. Meaning because we are mumukshus, then we have this value that we all want samatva. Samatva meaning peace of mind, equilibrium of our mind, equipoise of mind, peace of mind. This is our basic value. Okay. Then
Don't
next,
be a don't be a football of other people's opinions.
yeah.
Other people's opinions are their thoughts, not
Hmm.
yours.
Hmm.
Stay with your vision and refuse to allow others' disapproval, criticism to affect one's functionality.
Many of us get very affected by other people's criticism. If there is some kind of criticism, and especially youngsters, they get very affected by somebody else criticizing. But if you really look upon it, other people's criticism is one more vritti. It is a thought. No, it is just one chinta, one thought, and which is their thought. It is not our thought, it is their thought. Now imagine supposing there are 6 billion or 8 billion people in this world. How many thoughts there will be? Eh? 6 billion thoughts will be there. And if you are going to worry about each per, if all these thoughts which are there in the world, we will be very, very affected. Okay.
Accept people
And if
as
supposing, no, no, supposing one person has said, so out of the 6 billion people, this is one person who is having one disapproval thought about us. So why should we get affected? Eh? So yeah. So our because our value is for samatva, we refuse to become a football of other people's opinion. Yeah, wherever the football is kicked, it will go there. ऐसे नहीं. We are not like that. We will not allow others to surf, on the channel of our mind. No, we refuse. Eh? So basically, don't. We are not saying that don't listen. You can listen if it is constructive criticism and you can do something about it. Well and good, but there's no need to go underneath other people's criticism. Yeah, this would be a something which we would take under shama, because that is shama means keeping a tranquil mind. So that would be under the topic of shama. Yeah, this would be a um, perspective change of perspective we would have, that we don't need to get affected by other people's criticism. Iti? We stay fixed on our vision, our lakshya. Okay. And especially for in youngsters lives what happens कि वो लोग ने इस तरह के निर्णय ली कि हमें सत्संग अटेंड करनी है. ओ भगवान, उसके लिए तो इतना क्रिटिसिज्म होगा. So they need to stay very focused कि Okay, no, this is what I want, this is where I'm going, iti, and others can think what they want. Next one.
Accept people as they are. Can't change others until they want to change.
Hmm.
They are in Ishvara's order and can't be other than what they are.
Yeah.
As peace of one's mind is the goal, accept them as they are.
Supposing we are watching our favorite TV program and the electricity goes off, then what will if the electricity goes off, what can we do? That's how it is, no? It has gone off, iti. So what would we do? We will keep our peace of mind and we will do what we can. Generator hai to usko put on karo, or hike, put your TV to the generator. Do whatever you can, or it's okay if the TV has gone off, no problem. We will watch something else. Eh? Again, why? What is the value here? Samatvam. Our peace of mind is our value. Yeah. Okay. Next one. I'll go to the next page.
Change it. Yes. Present moment is inevitable. It is in Ishvara's order. Accept the
1 minute
moment.
is accept situations as they are.
ओह अच्छा मैंने बोला एक्सेप्ट पढ़ लिया ये
नहीं, हाँ.
accept situations as they are. Ishvara is in charge. If you can contribute to change, do so as an instrument of the divine. If you can't, then accept the situation, knowing it is in the Ishvara's order. Know that you have a choice to accept or not to accept. If you don't accept there is no peace.
Yeah, it is the same example, that TV वाला example. Yeah,
Yes.
or any such example situation में जो हमारी choice नहीं है, कुछ हो गया है, तो
हाँ.
फिर उसको accept करेंगे, क्योंकि we don't because we want peace. Remember, samatvam is the value that we have. Okay, next one.
Present moment is inevitable. It is in the Ishvara's order. Accept the moment. Peace of our mind is the goal. With peaceful mind, do what is to be done.
Yeah, right. That is all that we can do. Okay. Hmm.
See things as they are. A postman hands you a letter which has lot of scoldings. You can't blame or project on the postman. What is to come to me in Ishvara's order comes to me via some medium.
ठीक है, कहीं ना कहीं से वो आएगा. तो that's all I can do. Just 1 minute. हाँ, this is my. हेलो.
हेलो मैम, पार्सल था आपका फ्लिपकार्ट से.
हाँ जी भैया, तो आप आइएगा. हाँ, उधर सिक्योरिटी में दे दे, सिक्योरिटी में दे देना.
बात करा देता हूँ सिक्योरिटी से.
हाँ.
पेज नंबर कौन सा है? पेज नंबर, पेज नंबर
83 है अभी we haven't started. Verse number 7, page number 83. Yeah, page 83.
We have not started yet, ना.
Yeah, we have not started.
लोग शुरू नहीं किया. ये क्षमा की टॉपिक के संदर्भ में हम लोग ये टॉपिक कर रहे हैं कि हमारे सामने if there are unpleasant facts, then what are we to do? Because the next topic is going to be uparati. Uparati means having a tranquil mind. Iti. So before having a tranquil mind, let us see what we can do in some of the situations where we are. Okay? Oh, just 1 minute. So sorry. I muted myself so you don't have to hear the conversation. Okay. Okay. So we saw that even we can't blame others, for what is happening in our life. We can't project on them because in Ishwara's order, some karma phala has to come to us. किसी ना किसी को मीडियम बना देते हैं जैसे कि कोई भी even if somebody scolds us, then the medium is they are only a medium for Ishwara's this thing. Okay, look at this one.
Our body health can be a cause of concern, except either
That
से
body health,
except that body health is also within Ishvara's order. If we have made wrong choices with reference to the thoughts we think, or the food we ate, or the lack of hydration, exercise, or rest, which causes our body's health to suffer, we can try to remedy the damage with correct choices.
hmm,
If our choices were all correct and still health is affected, then health is affected by past karma, which is also part of Ishvara's order. Namaha. Do what can be done with a peaceful mind.
yeah. Here, why did I say, as part of body health, I wrote this word, the thoughts that we think.
क्या क्या
Thoughts
गुरु
that we think
क्या
do they affect the body?
क्या गुरु माँ जी, what is the question?
Because I wrote here that our body health can be affected by the thoughts that we think. Do you think this is true?
Thoughts with yeah, body gets affected. Yes, जो भी हम सोचते हैं, body gets affected.
Yeah, because this body is a chemical factory. और हमारे जो thoughts हैं, they set off a whole cascade of chemicals in the body, which can affect our health. Okay, so the thoughts that we think are also a very important part of body health. Iti. If person is always gloomy, always sad, or always angry, etc., etc., it is going to affect the body's health. Suni uncle, you are, huh?
The thought is very important because
Yeah.
what you think repeatedly, you become that.
Yeah.
That is what they say. And what you think, what you imagine repeatedly, you can create that.
Yeah.
तो जो आपने लिखा है बिल्कुल सही है. Whatever you think, and repeatedly you go on thinking about good things, positivity, you will become positive. If it is a thought is negative, you will reach negativity.
That's negativity, and that affects the body
Yes,
because
definitely that affects
yeah, because the body is like a chemical factory. The thought that you think is going to give some kind of chemistry in the body. I cannot remember an example, but good examples are there of this, which we could even do straight away. Then the last this thing is
In rain, we use an umbrella to prevent ourselves from getting wet. In life, we use the above understandings to not get affected by the many unpleasant facts that we need to face.
yeah. Okay. Now don't start reading anything. Think of at least two problems in your life. Okay. Close your minds and think of at least two problems that you have to face in your life. That or you may be facing currently in your life. You need not share it. You thought about them. Now we need to remember certain things. How to, a change of perspective when we look upon something as a problem. One way to look at is that look, everything changes. Our body changes, our mind changes. Now everything is changing, our mood changes, and therefore the problem also will change. If we can recognize this fact that everything changes and with that our problem also will change, then maybe the problem will not be a problem anymore if we can recognize it like that. Now certain things don't change. weather doesn't change, other people's behavior doesn't change sometimes, they have their weaknesses, their vulnerable points. They won't change because unless they want it to change, they won't change. Eh? So what shall we do? Acceptance.
Samatva.
Acceptance. Samatvam,
Acceptance.
big part of samatvam is acceptance. Accept करें, हाँ ऐसा है, ईश्वर की सृष्टि में ऐसा है. Some things don't change. I gave a nice example. जो stray dogs are there, the tail is all curled, no? Stray dog's tail. अभी कैसे भी आपने उसको सीधा किया, अपने में भी ब्लो ड्रायर भी यूज किया, उसको सीधा किया, then you leave it and it will come back to its position again. It does.
Yeah, even after 12 years, they say even after 12 years, कुत्ते का दुम टेढ़ा रहेगा.
टेढ़ा
Yeah.
ही रहता है. Then,
It
my
will
girl who is
even,
assisting me,
even
Varsha,
after 112 years, I think it will be the same.
yeah, the girl who is assisting me, Varsha, she has got very curly hair. So her hair goes out like this. So I took her to a hairstyle wala. Hairstyle wala said, sorry, this is how your hair is. No matter what you do to it, it is going to be like this.
Like this.
So
Yeah, I
some things
saw
don't
it.
change. In fact, he used that word. उसको स्वीकार करो. You accept it. This is how my hair is. Unless you use some other method, you use some chemicals and you straighten it out. But eventually, when the effect of the chemical goes, it will come back. You will have to maintain it somewhere, otherwise it will come back to this thing. Yeah. So basically, all the time we are seeing that there are some facts. If we can do something about it, we do. Unpleasant facts. If we can't do anything about it, we recognize it is Ishvara's order. See, to even recognize it, we can't tell it to everybody, because unless you have trust in Ishvara's order and you can see that there is an order, how can you tell somebody that you trust it is Ishvara's order? No. We all have been studying for some time. We definitely, certainly mature now. So we are able to say that there is something called Ishvara's order. And so let us accept, कि ऐसा है, and so we accept it. Okay. Next point. If you have a problem, then what will you do?
Awaken our own inner strength and
Mm.
courage.
Mm.
We all have inner strength, power, will. We just have to invoke it, recognize it, affirm, I can face all the situations. I will take this challenge. I will
Yeah.
take the challenge.
This is something I learned during this cancer journey of mine. मेरी हिम्मत हारती थी. I used to get, so I had to really awaken my own inner strength and valor many times, repeatedly I would have to do it. And there a big help I got was from satsang figure, Swami Avdeshanandji. He really and truly helped me. Just 1 minute, because I think my maid is back. बाद में नीचे, हाँ, आप ये बंद करके नीचे जाके मेरे पार्सल है 602 बी का, है? आप उसको ले आ सकते हैं. ओके. So yeah, so I was very much helped. So some very many times, for awakening our inner strength, our valor, our power, etc. Going to a satsang figure may help a lot, because that person will somehow find ways to give you that strength, to give you faith in Bhagwan, to give you strength, to help you to find your inner resilience. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the next point. Now, in spite of trying everything, if your problem is not solved, then what will you do? You give it to Ishvara. and you admit, I can't do this on myself, I offer it to you, Lord, please help me. Asking for help. Okay? We really sometimes need to ask for that help. So, asking for help is called surrender. I am nothing because I need the help of everybody else, and there is a higher power. So, I offer my problem unto that higher power. Please help me. So, you ask for help and it will be given. So, asking for help is tapping Ishvara's Shakti. Yeah. So, all of these points, if we deeply assimilate it, life gives us so many opportunities to assimilate. ना कोई ना कहीं कुछ ना कुछ होता है जो अनप्लेजेंट है, तो ये सब points are there for us to help us assimilate कि what, how are we going to deal with this. So initially it looks like we may lose our samatva, but because of our training, our satsang, our learning, then that wisdom will slowly come up and we will find that we are able to come out of it faster than we would normally have come out. Yeah. So this is, I thought, was a good part of doing. Before Uparati, we looked at some of the points. Okay. So now we will come to our verse today, which is on page 83. Vishaye, page 83, yeah. विषयेभ्य विषयेभ्य परा वृत्तिः परमो परतिर्हि सा सहनं सर्वदुःखानां तितिक्षा सा शुभा मता.
विषभय प्रवृत्ति परमोपरतिः सह
Very good.
सहनं
Sahanam
सर्वदुःखानां
दुःखानां
प्रतीक्षा
सा
शुभमता.
शुभमता.
very nice. Vishayebhyah, from the sense objects. Paravrittihi, turning away. Param uparatihi is ultimate tranquility. He indeed saw this sahanam, forbearance, this sahanam, forbearance, sarva dukkhanam, all the means of pain, all the methods by which we get pain, titiksha, endurance, sa, this, shubha, auspicious, mata, known. Turning away from the sense objects is indeed the ultimate uparati, tranquility. Now, sense objects, if we look upon them as a source of our happiness, our well being, then we cannot turn away from them. No, it is automatic. If we think that the sense objects are the source of our well being and our happiness, we won't be able to turn away from them. If we are turning away from them, it means that we have already understood that they are not the source of our well being and our happiness. Iti. Then the next point he took is in the verse is forbearance of all the means of pain is known as titiksha, endurance, and this is very auspicious and conducive to happiness. Endurance. That is the part in shama that we saw just now. Acceptance, Acceptance, endurance is a part of acceptance. The mind is naturally tranquil. Uparati means a state of mind that is abiding and inward looking. That means a mind in which there is already shama. In shama and dhamma, we are constantly striving to make the mind inward looking. In shama by right understanding, and in dhamma by restraint. When this is done for a length of time, the mind itself stops running towards the objects of pleasure, not only towards the objects of pleasure, I would say, towards anything that we look upon as source of our happiness and well-being, it will stop that. When you do the right thing for a long time, the mind becomes right. I love this sentence. See? When you do the right thing for a long time, then the mind becomes right. Likewise, if you do the wrong thing for a long time, the mind becomes wrong also. Impulsiveness is not the nature of the mind, but it becomes impulsive because of our carelessness, our wrong values, our aviveka, lack of discernment. Okay? So the mind becomes impulsive because of our carelessness, our wrong values, and our lack of discernment. Really speaking, shama or tranquility is the very nature of the mind. Once the mind becomes tranquil, it will remain tranquil. We make the mind tranquil by a constant practice of shama and dhamma. What is dhamma? Dhamma is restraint of the mind, restraint of the sense organs,
Sense.
right? When it is going towards this thing. And shama is right understanding. Hmm? The force of impulses slowly keeps decreasing until a time comes when the mind runs out of all its impulsive steam and becomes tranquil. Once the mind returns to its naturally tranquil state, no effort is required. That state, that natural state of tranquility, here is Swamiji calls it as uparati. Vishayebhyaha paravrittihi means turning away from the vishayas, the sense objects. In this definition, uparati does not seem much different from shama. So we can say that uparati is when the mind is tranquil on its own, when all the impulses for grabbing or experiencing pleasures have gone away. The mind has become free from impulses and can therefore now abide centered on itself. Okay? With that, now we will look at how Swamiji digresses to sannyasa. Bhatya uncle.
Uparati as sannyasa. Uparati is defined differently in different texts. In Tattva Bodha, for example, Uparati is said to be Swadharma Anusthana, abidance in doing one's duty. In Vek Chudamani, Uprati is defined as Vita Nam Karma Nam Parityagaha, renunciation of all duties. Thus, Uprati is often interpreted as sannyasa or formal renunciation in the form of Vividisha sannyasa, a lifestyle of renunciation that one has willingly accepted with a commitment to the pursuit of knowledge.
Any questions? Soni uncle, all okay?
No, it is okay.
Okay. Continue.
If uprati is taken as turning away from all activities, it means that the activities are done only in the form of one's duties. As long as I am a part of a system, like a family or a society, I necessarily draw benefit from it. It becomes the beneficiary. I become the beneficiary of the warmth and security that the system offers. If I have a family, they support me and do things for me, and my duty is to return the favor. There is a duty in the spirit of returning in favor as long as I am receiving the favor. The only way you can become free from duty is when you stop receiving favors. As long as one enjoys privileges, one has the obligations. As long as I am the part of the system, I will always enjoy the privileges that are offered by the system and am therefore bound by duty to return the favor. You cannot cop out. According to the Vedas, you are bound by dharma duty. We saw this in the discussion of Sarva Varna Ashram Dharma in the context of verse 3. But a time comes when you have to give up that also because it becomes a distracting factor.
It will be a distracting factor only if, in your cases, it's not a distracting factor, because now it's not that you have so many duties, number one, and number two, means it's distracting if you have so many duties that you cannot do your satsang, you cannot do your study, you cannot do anything. Only then it's a distracting factor. But if the family situation is very conducive to your continuation of your study, then it's not a distracting factor. It is, so that we should consider. Okay, the purpose of duty. Anita.
The purpose of duty is to gain a tranquil mind. When your mind has become tranquil, it means that duty has done its job. That is the purpose of duty or karma. Now that karma has done its job, we should give up the karma because from then on, the very karma itself becomes an obstacle. It is like cooking rice. You have to keep the fire burning as long as cooking is required. Fire is the sadhaka, means of cooking. But once the rice is cooked, that sadhaka becomes a badhaka. Badhaka. Yes, true.
Hindrance.
Badhaka, hindrance. Every sadhana is like that. Initially it is sadhaka and later on it becomes badhaka. Karma or duty is a means of attaining the tranquility of the mind. But when when tranquility is attained, karma disturbs the tranquility. When the mind is tranquil and you want to devote the mind to the pursuit of knowledge, duties distract your attention. It is very difficult for the mind to enjoy tranquility when it is
Bombarded.
being bombarded by obligations that duty calls for. This is why a seeker of knowledge is given permission by the scriptures to give up duties when the time comes.
Yeah. Meaning physically the person does not getting time now anymore, for satsang, for study, etc. Then what to do if it is that kind of a situation? Then Shruti says, okay, if you are very clear that you want to devote your life to pursuit of this knowledge, then you may take sannyasa if you want to. Okay. Then for Sunyanka.
A sannyasi is not a part of any system. When sannyasa was taken in the older days, one just walked out and was no longer a part of family. The sannyasi had no right within the family. They did not have to feed him or care for him any longer because he was not a part of the system. A sannyasi is not a part of any system. He is called a wandering monk. The sky is there, Ishvara is there, and that is all. Whatever Ishvara gives him, and that is well and good. His prarabdha dictates his life now. Vidivastata prapitena sansayut
I'll read it. Vidivashat praptena santushyatam.
santushtatam. He can go for bhiksha alms. He is allowed to go for bhiksha because the basic desire of hunger and thirst are there, which he has to fulfill. He
Yeah,
has
1 minute, Uncle.
Ji, ji.
Vidivashat praptena santushyatam. The meaning is given in the footnote. May you be happy with whatever comes to you in accordance with your karma. We had seen this in Sadhana Panchakam. Yeah. Okay. Then you have read this next sentence. He has no means now. Okay.
He has no means now to fulfill his deeds on his own. Therefore, the scripture gives its consent for him to go and beg for food. People know this, so they accept it. When a sannyasi comes, they willingly give bhiksha. It is a privilege because that is a part of their duty and it earns them punya also.
So whenever Anita gives me Diksha, he
Long
gets
time,
some
long time
punya.
now. Long time now.
Yeah. So now it is Sarvajanti's turn. This paragraph.
Sannyasa as a lifestyle or as a result of knowledge. When uprati is explained as a karam sannyasa, that is not sannyasa in primary sense. Only a wise person is sannyasi in the primary sense.
Auntie, stop. Who is a sannyasi? Who is the real sannyasi? The wise person. Why is he why is he? What is the knowledge that he has which makes him a real sannyasi? His knowledge is that I am not a karta, I am not a bhokta, I am changeless consciousness, which is limitless, which is boundless, and which is the adhishtanam of this whole universe. That is his assimilated recognition. Yeah, that is his own realization or recognition of himself. That makes him a full-fledged sannyasi. Okay, iti a vidvat sannyasi. Okay.
As Pujya Swamiji used to say,
so Gurumas, vidvatsa vidivasa.
Vividisha. Vividisha is a sannyasi who has taken sannyasi for sake of gaining knowledge.
Yes.
A vidvat sannyasi is the one who is this wise person. Vidvat sannyasa, that is called as vidvat, because he has the knowledge. Okay, he is a vidwan. He has this knowledge about himself. Puja Swamiji used to say,
a sannyasi has become a real sannyasi.
Has to become. The
Has-
meaning changes completely.
He meant that someone who has taken Vidvisha sannyasa,
Vividisha.
Vividisha sannyasa for the pursuit of knowledge. जिसने knowledge gain की है, करनी है, has to become a vidvat sannyasi. It through knowledge by gaining and abiding in that knowledge.
Yeah, so stop, Auntie, 1 minute. So Vidvat Sannyasa is a Jnani. Vidvat Sannyasi is a Jnani. That means to be a Vidvat Sannyasi, you don't have to take the lifestyle of sannyas, because a Grahastha can also be a Vidvat Sannyasi. If his knowledge is that this Grahasthashrama is only a role, my truth is that I am consciousness that doesn't change. I am changeless, ever existent, boundless consciousness. And because I'm changeless, I'm never a karta and I'm never a bhokta. And this is only a role which I have taken on, in this embodiment. Iti grahastha is only a role. If that person recognizes like that, while in grahastha he is a vidvat sannyasi. Okay, so vidvat sannyasi doesn't mean that they have to have orange robes. They may have orange robes also, but they need not have orange robes also. Yeah, they can just be somebody who has lived a beautiful life of dharma, and the circumstances are such that they don't Either they don't want to take sannyas or they cannot take sannyas, and they don't need to take sannyas also. What is the need? Once you recognize this truth, what is the need for taking sannyasa? So that it could be that person. Okay. So he's become a vidvat sannyasi through knowledge by gaining and abiding in that knowledge. Yeah.
With Vidisha, sannyasa is renunciation as a lifestyle, whereas vidvat sannyasa, vidvat sannyasa is renunciation by virtue of knowledge and is not a lifestyle.
Ah. So what does the vidvat sannyasi renounce? They have called here is renunciation by virtue of knowledge. So what has the vidvat sannyasi renounced? He has only renounced his thinking that I am a karta and I am a bhukta. That he has renounced. Earlier he was thinking I am a karta, I am a bhukta. That was his understanding about himself. But now, because of this recognition, what has he renounced? He has renounced his wrong thinking. That I am a karta and I am a bhokta. That kind of thinking he has renounced. Therefore, renunciation by virtue of knowledge. Yeah, it is sannyasa only. Sannyasa means renunciation, but here he has renounced his error, all his errors, his beliefs. He has renounced. Iti. Okay, it's not a lifestyle.
So it means he has changed his paradigm from a body-mind complex to a, consciousness.
Yes, his eye has shifted.
Yes.
I was, this is a very nice example, no, in Dakshinamurti. So the eye is, joined. This is the eye. It got joined with the body mind complex, with waking, dream, deep sleep, with sattva, rajas, tamas. Okay. So the eye says, I am body, I am mind, I am this thing. I says, I am waker, I am dreamer, I am sleeper. I says, I am sattvic or I am rajasic or I am tamasic. Now, because of the knowledge, what happens? The eye shifted and it said, these are all anatma. Body, mind, sense complex is anatma. I am atma. I am different from this body, mind, sense. I'm different from being waker, dreamer, sleeper. These are only roles, iti. I'm different being from father or son or whatever. And the eye shifted and joined with, because the finger is of no use without the thumb, no? The thumb is the most important part of this finger. So the eye went and joined with the thumb, which represents Ishvara or represents consciousness, and the thumb. And so then the eye has now become one with, has separated from here and has discovered its identity with limitless, ever existing, indestructible, unchanging consciousness. And therefore, I is now Purnam. Okay. Earlier, it was bound by the limitations of the body, mind, sense complexity. But because it is in its recognition separated itself, now it is one with consciousness, it is Purnam. So the circle here is, showing Purnatva. So there is Purnatvam for that I. Okay. Actually, this Purnatvam is always there. It is not that it is a new Purnatvam which got created. No, no, no. Purnatvam is the truth about us. But wrongly, it is the I got associated with all of this and said, I am this iti. So this Vidvat Sannyasi, he renounced this association. This is what he renounced. And then he discovered the Purnatvam that was already there. The Purnatvam is already there. The truth is already there. It's not a new truth. There's no new truth here. It's a fact, So that fact he acknowledged, he discovered, he assimilated, whatever you want to call it.
In the former, there are some disciplines, certain clothes, rules on what one is supposed to do or not do, etc. But in renunciations by virtue of knowledge, one is free from all the rules.
Yeah. Okay, one is free from all the rules. Now comes a very controversial portion. Let me see the time. Not controversial, very interesting portion, which we should do next time because we are at 5:54. Yeah, because this will be a discussion. We'll probably have a nice, solid discussion on this. The next portion is very interesting, you know. Freedom from free will is the only freedom. Okay? Freedom from free will is the only freedom, is the discussion. That will be a very interesting discussion. So we will see that next time.
So,
Okay?
Guruma, one question I just wanted to know. Okay, when those who are Sadhka for the last, say, I myself and Saroj, I don't consider myself. जैसे डॉक्टर साहब हैं और नीता जी हैं, तो they can be taken as a vidvat sannyasi.
That depends on what is there in their heart. How
नहीं,
do
but
they regard themselves? No, it is
no,
not
no,
only study of Shastra, no. It is
no,
what you have accepted of the study of our Shastra and your own discovery. So we should not put people in difficult situation, you know. We should allow them to have whatever their this thing. The study of Shastra helps us to come to that point where we are able to say, by Shastra Kripa, firstly, Ishvara Kripa, Shastra Kripa, Guru Ishvara Kripa, Guru Kripa, Shastra Kripa, and Atma Kripa.
Atma Kripa.
One's own Kripa to oneself. Okay? Where one is able to let go of these millions of lifetimes of beliefs. It's a very not an easy thing to let go these beliefs because they are very strong. They
no,
believe.
that was my precisely the question, because I can't say about my wife, I have been only doing Shravanam as on today. I don't think I have achieved any contemplation or even Mananan.
That's
Because
okay.
because if I am only doing Shravana, I have understood that I am not the BMI, but it is like having a knowledge, like an loaded ass. It is the knowledge which I have got, but I have not so far contemplated.
Yeah. So that shows you what you need to do.
So,
Also contemplate, you know, because this journey is quite a interesting journey. Let's put it in very simple terms. The of assimilation. Assimilation is requires lot of Ishvara Kripa,
no,
lot
the
of Guru Kripa and Atma Kripa, you can say.
purity of mind probably is one of the
Purity of heart.
purity of
Where
heart.
purity of heart is really by actually, if you look at purity of heart, it comes exactly by this, by Shastra Shravanam, that constant, you know, talking about values, talking about how to live your life with Karma Yoga Buddhi, how to let all your actions be an offering to Ishvara. And when the result of the action comes to have that Samatva Buddhi, and slowly let that way of life do the cleansing of the heart. It's a slow process.
Very slow, and I think this sadhan chatushtai, what I have understood after
Yes.
listening to you,
Viveka,
that
Vairagya, Shama, Damadhi, Shatta, Sampatti.
they are all interconnected. I find
Yes.
if you get this nitya nitya viveka, then that follows vairagya. When you get vairagya, you get some dam and uparati and titiksha. So they are all automatically interconnected.
Automatically connected. So what happens is when we do this type of satsang constantly, if we are honest, you know, and with ourselves, then we will ourselves say, okay, where am I? Okay, you will ask this question of yourself, where am I? And you may find that, okay, in the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, maybe this one is lacking, maybe that thing is a little bit off. So then you know where to focus, that okay, this is what I need to do, this is the path for me, iti, you know, this is where I need to focus. While I continue my shravanam, I also need to know that in my life, where will I focus, iti.
Guruma, one more question. Although time is we are
That's
having
okay.
because Swamiji has written that mind is naturally tranquil.
Yeah.
But Arjun says to Bhagwan that Chanchalam Mana Krishna.
Because of the ignorance. You see, because of ignorance and because of wrong values and lack of aviveka, lack of viveka, iti, lack of vairagya, lack of shamadhi shatka sampatti, the mind is chanchalam. It is restless. It is wanting something. It is going here. It is going there, and then it becomes a habit. Iti.
No, is it
But
naturally tranquil or it is because
no, by its nature,
Mhm.
mind is tranquil. If supposing ignorance is not there in the mind, if aviveka is not there in the mind, then what would the mind be? It would be tranquil, no? So from that standpoint, Swamiji is saying the nature of the mind is to be tranquil. It's only in the presence of factors like this that the mind becomes lacks in tranquility. Okay, in when the mind gets associated with ignorance, and then its whole brood of, you know, aviveka, etc., then it is going to lose its tranquility. So there is, but one remember one thing, Krishna has promised us, you start your journey and you will pick up your journey. Wherever you left it, you will pick up your journey. Eh? So, what is our job? Our job is to keep on, keep with our satsang, keep with our this thing. That's all. Nothing more, you know. We keep on doing what we have to do. What we have to do is to keep our study going, to keep our satsang going, to keep our this thing going. So, we do that in some form or the other. And we continue with that, I think. Yeah?
Thank you very much.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Okay. Om Namo Narayana.
Om Pranam Guru.
Yes. Next time I'll let you know, because my this craniosec. Oops, let me stop.